Have you ever found yourself wondering why a woman suddenly starts ignoring you? The silence can be deafening, and your mind races with questions. What happened? Why the sudden change? It feels like you were just getting the attention, the validation, the connection that made you feel seen, wanted, and important. And then, just like that, it's gone. That silence hits harder than any words she could have spoken. It makes you second-guess everything, doesn't it? But here's the truth. As hard as it might be to hear, when a woman ignores you, she's not being passive or indifferent. She's making a statement, and often, she doesn't need to say a word. What most men don't realize is that how you react to that silence is what truly matters. Your response in that moment will shape the future of the dynamic between you two. So, what do? Do you chase her, beg for an explanation, or try to fix what may not even be broken? Or do you hold your ground, stand tall, and let the silence work for you? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to dive deep into why she might be ignoring you, what could be happening behind the scenes, and how to respond in a way that puts you back in control of the situation. And let me be clear, this is not about manipulation. This is about recognizing your value and not letting her pull you into a power play. Let's break this down. When she pulls away, it could be for a few reasons. She might be testing your confidence. She might be emotionally distracted elsewhere. Or she could simply feel like you've given her too much power. Whatever the reason, your reaction will determine whether you keep her attention or whether you fade from her life altogether. The test of confidence. One of the first things that can happen when a woman starts ignoring you is that she's testing your confidence. Believe it or not, her pulling back might not have anything to do with anger or disinterest. Sometimes it's a quiet, subtle test to see how solid you are as a man. Women test in silence, and they don't always give you a warning or an explanation. They simply stop giving you the attention they once did and sit back to observe how you react. Confidence, real confidence, is only tested when things get uncertain. When there's distance between you two, that's when the real test begins. She's watching to see if you will crumble under the pressure. Will you start chasing her, begging for her attention? Or will you remain composed, steady, and unshaken by her silence? If you panic, over-explain, or beg, you'll only confirm her suspicions that you need her more than she needs you. But if you stay grounded, composed, and calm, you'll show her something far more powerful than desperation. True masculine confidence is quiet. It's not loud, it doesn't beg, and it certainly doesn't collapse when things get tough. It's steady, silent, and unwavering. When you don't react to her silence, when you don't chase her, you're telling her that you're not afraid to lose her, not because you don't care, but because you don't need her approval to feel good about yourself. The emotional distraction. Sometimes, though, the reason she's pulling away has nothing to do with you at all. It could be that she's emotionally entertained elsewhere. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean she's physically with someone else, but it could mean that someone else is giving her the emotional stimulation that you once did, or maybe never had the chance to. Women crave emotional connection. They need to feel something, not just experience consistency. It's not just about how nice you are or how reliable you've been. It's about how emotionally engaged she feels when she interacts with you. If you stop providing that emotional charge, she may start seeking it elsewhere. This doesn't mean you've failed as a man, but it does mean that you need to wake up to the reality. If she's emotionally distracted elsewhere, your repeated efforts to gain her attention may be making things worse. You're now the backup plan, fighting for a position that's already been claimed. If you keep pushing, texting, showing up, trying to win her back, it will only make you look like you don't have boundaries. She'll know she can keep you on standby and treat you as an option while her attention is elsewhere. The best thing to do when this happens is to stop chasing. Let her come to you. If she doesn't, then you have your clarity. You gave her too much power. Here's a tough truth. When a woman starts ignoring you, it might be because, without even realizing it, you've given her too much power. You've placed her above you. In the dynamic, her attention became something you needed to earn, and her affection became a prize you had to fight for. When a woman feels like she holds all the power in the relationship, she loses respect. She knows that no matter how much she pulls back, you'll always be there, chasing her, showing up, trying to keep her attention. This imbalance is toxic. It turns you into a reactionary, someone who adjusts their entire behavior just to maintain her favor. Men who constantly chase after a woman's attention will eventually lose their edge. Women don't respect men who let them dictate the pace or tone of the relationship. When you constantly react to her silence, you're teaching her that she has control over you. And that's when respect starts to slip away. So, how do you reclaim control? Simple. You stop. You stop chasing. You stop adjusting your behavior to keep her attention. Instead, you reclaim your position through self-respect and restraint. When you don't chase her, when you don't react to her pulling away, you show her that your worth doesn't depend on her validation. The power of silence. Now, here's where the real magic happens. Silence. When a woman starts ignoring you, the most powerful move you can make is to stop explaining yourself. Don't send her long texts trying to fix things. Don't beg for an explanation. Don't even send her a just checking in message. Go silent. Completely silent. This silence isn't about revenge or playing games. It's about protecting your dignity. Most men make the mistake of trying to fill the silence, trying to break the distance. They keep texting, calling, trying to fix things, but all they're doing is reinforcing the behavior they don't want. When you go silent, you disrupt the pattern. You stop feeding the dynamic. You force her to question her behavior. This doesn't mean you're being cold or indifferent. It means you're standing firm in your boundaries. You're showing her that you won't tolerate being treated with disrespect. And the moment you do this, the dynamic shifts. She starts to feel what it's like to not have access to you. The power balance starts to tilt in your favor. Stop explaining yourself. One of the worst things you can do when a woman starts ignoring you is to try to explain yourself. Stop texting her paragraph after paragraph, explaining how you feel, justifying your actions, or seeking clarity. All you're doing is showing her that you need her approval. And when you do that, you lose respect. Instead, focus on being the man who doesn't need permission to feel confident. When she starts to pull away, don't beg for explanations or closure. Hold your ground. Let her sit in the silence and wonder. Let her feel the void of your absence. That's when you'll truly regain control of the situation. Let her feel the void. And finally, when she pulls away, don't try to fill the space she's created. Don't chase her. Let her feel the impact of her own actions. The silence she's created is meant to be felt. If she's truly interested in you, she'll feel it and come back. If not, then you've just gained the clarity you needed. When you let her feel the void, you show her that your presence is not something she can take for granted. You teach her the value of your attention, and you make her realize that you won't settle for anything less than respect and reciprocation. There you have it, a dignified, emotional, and powerful response to a woman who's pulling away. By understanding the dynamics and maintaining your self-respect, you can reclaim control and keep your dignity intact. If you've ever faced this situation, share your thoughts in the comments. Let's talk about it together. Reaffirming your value. At the end of the day, it all comes down to value. And not just the value you give to her, but the value you place on yourself. When you stop chasing, stop over-explaining, and stop trying to fill the void that's been created, you're teaching both her and yourself an incredibly important lesson. Your worth is not defined by anyone's attention or validation, especially not by someone who plays games with your emotions. It's all too easy to forget this. We get caught up in the excitement of new relationships, the dopamine hit of constant attention, and before we know it, we've compromised our own standards. We give away our emotional energy freely, believing that it's the key to keeping a woman's interest. But the truth is, you're only as valuable as you make yourself feel. And here's the kicker: when you start placing your own worth first, something incredible happens. Not only will you stop needing validation from her, but you'll also start to notice the shifts in the dynamic. The woman who once had the power to make you question yourself will now begin to feel the pressure of your absence. She'll begin to wonder what changed, why you're not chasing her anymore, and why she doesn't have the same control over you. This shift is not only empowering, it's magnetic. Women are drawn to strength, self-assurance, and emotional independence. It's the very essence of masculinity, self-reflection, and growth. Before we continue, let's pause for a moment of self-reflection. Think about the relationships or situations where you've allowed yourself to be drawn into the chase. Have you ever sacrificed your self-respect in the hopes that someone would return it to you? Have you bent over backwards for someone who wasn't giving you the same level of respect or care? Now imagine if you hadn't done that. Imagine if you'd simply let go, stood in your worth, and walked away from situations that didn't honor who you are. Would you have felt more empowered? Would you have had a better sense of self? More than likely, the answer is yes. This isn't about playing games. This is about understanding your own value and acting from a place of strength. The minute you allow someone else to dictate your mood, your worth, or your happiness, you lose your power. And when you get your power back, the right woman will feel it and respect you for it. It's not about perfection. It's about balance, self-awareness, and understanding your boundaries. She will test you again. Don't fail the test. There's something to remember. If she sees that you've pulled away, handled the silence with grace, and respected yourself, she may try to test you again. It's not uncommon for women to push boundaries to see if you've truly learned your lesson. She might try to re-enter your life, either to see if you'll keep your standards or to get that emotional energy back. And when that moment comes, it's crucial that you don't fall into the same patterns of neediness and over-explaining. You've already proven to yourself and to her that your value doesn't depend on her. When she comes back, your response should be calm, collected, and grounded. You don't need to prove anything to her. Let her actions prove her intentions, and keep your boundaries intact. It's easy to fall back into old habits, to slip into the comfort of validation seeking and emotional chasing. But the man who stands firm in his self-respect and continues to respect his own boundaries becomes a man she can't help but respect. The game changes. The power dynamic shifts in your favor. The art of detachment is an art. It's not about being cold or dismissive, but rather about being emotionally free. When you're emotionally free, you don't cling to outcomes. You don't attach your self-worth to whether or not a woman responds to you. You allow things to unfold naturally, without fear or anxiety. This detachment isn't about walking away from love or relationships. It's about recognizing that you deserve to be treated with respect, and if someone isn't giving you that, you're willing to walk away. It's the ultimate act of self-love and self-respect. You're not afraid of losing her, because you understand that if she truly values you, she'll show up, and if not, you'll move on with your life, keeping your peace and your dignity intact. Embrace the silence as strength. You see, silence isn't weakness. It's strength in its purest form. It's a powerful way to protect your energy and set the tone for how you expect to be treated. When you go silent, you're not playing games. You're not trying to make her jealous. You're simply standing firm in who you are, in your standards, and in your value. It's important to remember that women don't chase men they respect. They might chase someone they're attracted to, or someone who makes them feel good in the moment. But true respect comes when a man stands his ground, when he doesn't bend or break to accommodate others, when he says, "This is who I am, take it or leave it." That's when the right woman will sit up and take notice. In the end, it all boils down to this: when she pulls away, you have two options. You can chase, beg, and over-explain, trying to keep her attention at all costs. Or you can stand firm, respect yourself, and let the silence speak louder than any words you could say. If she comes back, you'll know that it's because she recognizes your worth. If she doesn't, you'll have your clarity, your dignity, and your peace of mind. Remember, you're not defined by anyone else's attention or approval. When you embrace your own value, the right people will be drawn to you, and the ones who don't respect you will fade away. And that, my friend, is the power of silence. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.